All right, and we are live. And sorry, I haven't been streaming that much. There was such a crazy weekend. I definitely should have streamed during the weekend, but we're on now, and things are still insane. So, where to even begin? There was so much stuff. The riots in LA, clashing with Trump escalating by first federalizing the National Guard in California, and then he's now sending in Marines. Now he's threatening to arrest the governor, Gavin Newsom. So, yeah, shit is hitting the fan over there right now. Trump administration deploys Marines to Los Angeles, vows to intensify migrant raids. All right, so let's watch this video real quick. So this just came out, updated 18 minutes ago.
The Trump administration ordered U.S. Marines into Los Angeles on Monday in response to days of protests over federal immigration raids. The U.S. Northern Command released these photos of Marines preparing to deploy to the city. Officials said some 700 Marines based in Southern California were expected to reach Los Angeles Monday night or Tuesday morning. Their deployment marks another escalation in President Donald Trump's actions towards the demonstrations, which erupted last Friday. This video from Monday shows police as they began to disperse hundreds of demonstrators who gathered outside a federal detention center in downtown Los Angeles where immigrants have been held. Meanwhile, National Guard forces formed a human barricade to keep people out of the building. Those National Guard troops were part of a contingent of 2,000 deployed by Trump to the city on Saturday. On Monday, the Pentagon confirmed that the contingent would be doubled to 4,000. California Governor
4,000? That's insane. Oh my God. So yeah, this is just Trump really playing his hand, right? We've known that he's wanted to crush political dissenters for a long time using military force, and now he's finally doing it. It looks like this is an excuse that he's using. People resisting against ICE. This is an excuse that he's using to simultaneously draw power away from Democratic governors by using their own National Guard against them, and increase his own power by taking their National Guard and sending in Marines to basically squash political dissent.
Gavin Newsom said in the Monday post on X, his state was suing the Trump administration to block deployment of the National Guard and the Marines, arguing that it violates federal law and state sovereignty. Trump, in turn, said he supported a suggestion by his border czar, Tom Homan, that Newsom should be arrested over possible obstruction of his administration's immigration enforcement measures. A U.S. official speaking on condition of anonymity said that for now, the Trump administration was not invoking the Insurrection Act. The 1807 law would allow troops to directly participate in civilian law enforcement. It was last invoked in 1992 by President George H.W. Bush in response to the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles. Even without invoking the Insurrection Act, Trump can deploy Marines under certain conditions of law or under his authority as commander-in-chief. Though military forces have been deployed domestically for major disasters, such as Hurricane Katrina, it is extremely rare for troops to be used domestically during civil disturbances.
I mean, it's so funny when we talk about the legality of this just supports what I always say, where laws and procedures are put in place for basically the Democrats to cite them as a reason that they can't achieve things, and for the Republicans to ignore them and just do whatever they want anyway. Sure, when they face stiff resistance from courts, sometimes now we're seeing them bend in the slightest way possible. That's another thing that we need to talk about. Kilmar Brego Garcia was finally allowed back into the country and is now facing a completely bullshit trial. But if there's a law that explicitly says you can't do something, then Donald Trump will just do it anyway. He doesn't care. So let's read a little bit of this article. The Trump administration on Monday ordered U.S. Marines into Los Angeles and intensified raids on suspected undocumented immigrants, fueling more outrage from street protesters and Democratic leaders who raised concerns over a national crisis. This is the other thing. They have arrested like 10,000 immigrants. Let's see. ICE immigrant detentions. Detention management. I need to find the total number. On the 6th of June 2025, according to the most recent data as of June 1st, Immigration and Customs Enforcement is detaining 51,302 people in its facilities. 51,000 people. The first time the total number of detainees has surpassed 50,000 since September 2019. Back then, ICE reported detaining 50,922 individuals. What? But then why would it say, so they held the 50,922 in September 2019, and now they're detaining more than 50,000 people. But how many people have they deported? Immigration deportations. That's not how you spell deportations. Counting arrests, detentions, and border crossings. A little bit old. President Donald Trump came into office. 51,026 as of June 5th. ICE told Congress last year that as of July, it had identified 435,000 undocumented immigrants with criminal convictions who are not in custody. It is not clear how many of those criminal non-citizens have been arrested or deported. Meanwhile, data from Customs and Border Patrol shows that unauthorized crossings at the southern border have plummeted. Hey, that's not really giving me what I want to find. How many people have they deported? 51,302 in detention on June 1st. And you can see, I guess this is like in May 2020, May 2021, or this is 2020, 2021. It's at an all-time low underneath 10,000. And then you can see how the number of people being detained by ICE has increased even before Donald Trump got into office. 43.7% of ICE immigrant detainees have no criminal record. Yeah, I'd like to double check those numbers too. People booked into ICE detention during May 2025, 28,797. So about half the people they're holding were booked the last month. But can we not see how many people were deported? How many people has Trump deported? Don't want to see AI. All right, let's see what this is. Migrationpolicy.org. The first 100 days, Trump 2.0 has dramatically reshaped the U.S. immigration system, but is not meeting mass deportation aims. Greater border enforcement policy and mass deportations were two major pledges. In its first 100 days, his administration has raced to meet those goals and so many others. Apparently Stephen Miller has just been yelling at ICE, like yelling at the heads of ICE, and this is why you're now seeing them ramp up their deportation efforts, escalating it and deporting people at homes, at restaurants, at schools. So, man cries school deportation. Like, it's just all over the place. Indian
now,
student.
a disturbing video from the United States is drawing outrage back home.
Like, you can just search up any kind of horrible thing and there will be a story of someone getting detained by ICE.
Video shows an Indian student handcuffed and pinned to the floor at the Newark airport, allegedly just before being deported. The incident, which took place on the 7th of June, has triggered a wave of concern about the treatment of Indian nationals abroad. The video, shared by Indian-American entrepreneur Kunal Jain, shows a visibly distressed young man, reportedly a student, being restrained by U.S. authorities at the New York Liberty International Airport. Jain claims the student was about to board a flight but was instead detained, handcuffed, and later deported. Meanwhile, the Consulate General of India in New York has acknowledged the incident and said they are in touch with local authorities.
Yeah, so just like you search up for one circumstance, you find something else, but it's just as bad. School leaders try to calm deportation fears.
We've been covering the fears of local immigrants since Donald Trump won the election. Tonight, ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco has new information on what local school districts are doing to calm concerns.
Natasha Martinez is a newly hired special ed aide at Perkins K-8 school in Barrio Logan. Martinez's children are also enrolled at the school. The family is seeking asylum from Venezuela.
I was a teacher in my home country, and I love that I can continue my profession here.
There are roughly 35 other families from Venezuela who have children at this school. Martinez says she isn't worried about mass deportations under a second Trump administration. She's been processed and given permission to work.
As long as we're following the law.
Bro, what? Have you been keeping up on the news? When did this video come out? Like, I understand being delusional in order... Oh, this was 6 months ago. Okay, that's funny. But yeah, this person is the exact type of person that is getting deported. Oh, we're following the book. Like, how many people are getting literally snatched up when they leave their courtroom hearings? Courtroom hearing, ICE. ICE arresting migrants at immigration court hearings.
A Massachusetts teenager set to go before an immigration judge this afternoon. 18-year-old Marcelo Gomez da Silva was arrested by ICE agents while he was driving to high school volleyball practice last Saturday. Authorities say the operation was targeting da Silva's father. Now his family and classmates are calling for the teen's release. Meanwhile, advocates...
They kept him? They kept him? Like, dude, it's so comical. They're just evil people. And then when they arrest someone, they're like, oh, you're the wrong guy? Whatever, we'll hold you anyway. And then you have to have these little kids, like, protesting a fascist regime because they're like, we just want our classmate to be released. Just absolutely insane that this is happening in our country. And it seems like the people are resisting. The immigrants that have been targeted by ICE understand that they can't be out in public, and they understand that their lives are at risk. And yet, what are we getting from the Democrats? What are we getting? We're getting like Gavin Newsom. I mean, he is being performatively outraged. But where are all of the other Democrats, man? Even Bernie Sanders is like, oh, we can't really protest that hard because otherwise it's going to give ICE a reason to come in and like crack some skulls. Like, we'll get into that later.
Over a dozen people in Chicago are in ICE custody after attending what they thought was a routine immigration check-in. Let's bring in ABC's Maria Villarreal for more. And Maria, you have some original reporting about people being detained as they showed up to scheduled immigration hearings. What'd you find out there?
You know, Diane, we've actually been following this for the last few weeks. We have a team that has been watching this both in New York, in LA, in Texas as well. We were able to get down to the San Antonio courts. And the reason why we chose this particular location was because just about a week ago, we saw immigration advocates that were at the court actually document what was happening inside these immigration hearings, which was very concerning to them. You know, families who had been used to showing up to these immigration courts and speaking with immigration judges about the status of their cases were then walking out and being detained by ICE. Initially, it was very confusing for a lot of the families that were there, not to mention the attorneys and the advocates that were representing these people, but slowly but surely, they were able to piece together what they were seeing. And then we went and also watched this occur yesterday as well. Basically, what was happening in the courts that they were able to document is that, you know, migrants were coming in to check in on their immigration cases. While they were there listening to their cases for removal, you know, the Department of Justice would basically tell the judge, listen, judge, we want to go ahead and have this case dismissed. Obviously, if you are a person there that is not familiar with how the legal system works, you don't have representation as a migrant that is there just trying to, follow the law as best as possible. You're surprised and maybe even, actually excited about the fact that your case is going to be dismissed. But what would then happen is once the case was dismissed, as long as there were no objections, that particular person would walk out of the court. And then that's when they would see or be met by ICE agents. Initially, again, very confusing situation occurring. Obviously, more information has come out over the last week that this could be a tactic being used by the administration that falls in line with expedited removal, which we know that the Trump administration has tinkered with over the last few months in order to, get more people deported from our country.
So what are immigration advocates saying about these kinds of arrests?
I think there's a major concern. Listen, we saw it yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I think there's a major concern. Immigration advocates are majorly concerned that the immigrants they're representing are just getting illegally detained. Yeah, no fucking shit, there's a major concern. Yeah, let's just see if Majority Report has a clip on here. Urgent advice for immigrants navigating ICE's increased enforcement. What the hell? Do they have a Steve Bannon clip? I'm kind of curious to watch that. But anyway, I'll watch that later. So, okay, let's just watch a little bit of... I needed to get more clips prepared for you guys, but I want to watch a little bit of clips of some of the violence that came out of these protests. So we have this clip that's going viral. This is an Australian news reporter, and it's just insane. Like, it's like a movie where she finishes her report, the camera pans over to a cop. The cop visibly turns, aims his gun at her, and then fires a rubber bullet into her leg. And those can still be extremely dangerous. Like, those can give you injuries that require surgery. They can kill you. Like, it's still a piece of rubber flying at you, being fired from a gun.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Cop pans over, there's the guy, just aims his gun at her and fires. And I think he was aiming at the ground near her feet to just scare her, but obviously cops are fucking shit at their jobs, and he hits her.
You just shut the fuck up. You okay? I'm good.
Let's see. There's this clip of a protester getting shot in the head by non-lethal rounds, and you can see just how, these rounds they're basically Nerf guns, right? These rounds are what your parents thought Nerf guns were. They're like, oh my god, we can't let you have a Nerf gun because this is gonna happen. So there's a cop there. I mean, dude, they're just fucking kids that never grew out of wanting to play paintball. And this is the thing. If you get a bunch of guys that have power trips, because obviously, like, you self-select for people that have fragile egos when they go into the police force, and then they're told that they're better than everyone else. They're told that everyone else is trying to hurt you. You're a special class of person. The people that you meet are beneath you. You have total dominion over them. And then you let them know that they're entering a war zone, and you give them weapons that look like weapons of war. You dress them all up in tactical gear, and you give them this mandate that's like, protect the peace, make sure that buildings aren't burnt down and aren't saved. Oh shit. Do not worry, podcast. Is this a good time to talk with you? Like this time of day? Now I feel bad because I haven't checked my Discord in a while. Oh no, I'm gonna turn on my Discord and find a bunch of messages from you, aren't I? Okay. Not that bad. But anyway, Nice to have you here. But like, you get guys like this, and then it's like they're playing Call of Duty. So they're doing these tactical sweeps off to the side behind these signs to take out people. I'm opening my Discord now. Oh my god, alright, are we gonna finally do this? Is this happening? Like, I don't know if I should even be showing this on YouTube, but anyway, shoots this poor, I think it's a woman in the head, shoots this poor person in the head. Obviously, like, if you get shot or cut in the head, there's going to be a lot of bleeding. So, like, this probably looks worse than it is, but still, the person's losing a lot of blood. And they were also shot in the head, which could be concussed.
You can't call an ambulance? There's no ambulance behind. Right there. You guys created? What happened? There's an emergency response. You shot her in the head. You can't, and they want to leave her here. Hey, be a good citizen and take her to you.
Bro, and then the audacity of the cop to yell at the guy who's recording to be a good citizen and take her to the hospital instead of just calling an ambulance or administering aid to the person that he shot in the fucking head, too. It's so ridiculous. All right, bro, let's do this week. And if this is a good time for you, I'd be down to like do this at this time or even like an hour earlier at a point. Cause yeah, I think, yeah, it's definitely hard to, maybe we could do Wednesday. Maybe we could do Wednesday because I'm free more time on Wednesday. But yeah, hit me up on Discord, or I think I gave you my number too, so you can just text me. And then we can do like this time or a little bit later, maybe tomorrow. That'd be good. Look at him. He just looks so done. He's like, I'm having a bad day at work. It's like when your boss yells at you for being late or forgetting to do a project, but instead you just shot someone in the head and you're like, do I really have to administer aid to them now when they're bleeding out of their scalp?
No, that's such a lie.
They're standing on the fucking sidewalk and he's like, you're preventing ambulances from getting here. These guys are ridiculous. They're so ridiculous. Oh my god, why are American cops the biggest hogs that there are? Dude, they're actually just like so over it. They're like, fine, I shot her in the head, okay? What do you want me to do? He's just standing there and he's like, oh, come on. What, like, really? I said, like, he's not even saying that he's sorry, right? He's like, fine. Well, I didn't shoot her with a real bullet, so aren't you happy?
Make a fucking phone call.
Use your fucking...
And then the actual protesters have to take her away because obviously the cops are not there to protect or help the people out. There's another incident that's going viral where the cops just like beat the shit out of a guy with fucking horses. Like, just a blast from American segregationist South, where they just have this guy on the ground completely surrounded by these cops and then they just like run him over and trample him with horses. So you can see the guy's down. It looks like this cop comes to kick him. Like, what are they doing? Are they trying to arrest him? Are they trying to detain him? Because this cop is on him and then he just leaves. So it really looks like they're not going to arrest him. They just want to beat him up. They just want to beat him up so they can get some kind of pleasure in their job. They're like going from beating their wife to now beating up this random protester. But I can't use my horse on my wife. This is a special kind of beating that I can do. This guy comes over, tries to kick him. He gets up a little bit. Guy on a horse comes over, pulls out his baton, turns his horse to kick him in the back. Another guy comes over, literally just tramples him with his horse, like walks over him, hits him in the head with his baton, tries to trample him with his horse again. Another cop, he's like, I don't have a horse, but I want to get in on this action. Comes over, grabs him by the bag, throws him back to the... Like, once again, are they arresting him? Are they trying to detain him? I don't see anyone getting off their horse and trying to put cuffs on the guy. They're just trampling him, beating him up with their batons, and then moving on. It's just like some kind of sick enjoyment that they're getting from it. Yeah, exactly. The horses are trying to not stumble over the person, but the cops are just like, no, I need, you don't understand, horse. I need you to get close so I can beat the person up. So now the guy's just on top. There's like, stop resisting, let my horse just like step on your fucking head. I mean, absolutely insane. And the person who made this tweet says, not sure LAPD knew they were being watched here. Something tells me there's going to be a lot more of this before all is said and done. Let's see, what are the responses on here? Did they just Rodney King a white guy? The officers are trying to get their horses to stomp on the person, but thankfully the horses don't want to. They need to stop using horses, animal neglect, and also police brutality. Boo on the LAPD. Yeah, it's insane that the cops are on horses. Like, at this late date, they're just like, no. We are a racist organization that is using animals of the past in order to just better crush people. Did you see Asmongold saying this person deserved to get trampled? Oh my god, really? Well, that's okay. Well, that kind of brings me to this next tweet where so this guy Yeet, who is loved by Ethan Klein and the H3 community, says Asmongold accepts Hassan's offer to attend the LA protests. Sure, I'll go with the National Guard to arrest everyone who's standing on the highway. So I love this for so many reasons. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is like, why is Twitter reminiscent of like third grade, but everyone is fascist? What? It's just like a fascist kindergarten. It's ridiculous. It's all fucking crayon eating brain dead pieces of shit that just want to suck on the loose skin that hangs on between Donald Trump's testicles and his asshole. Like, oh my god, it's the most bottom of the barrel. Just, oh, big man with a gun, good. Man who says big man with gun bad is bad. Big man with gun should kill big man without, or little man without gun. It's just fucking caveman brained. Asmongold accepts Hassan's offer to attend the LA protest. Sure, I'll go with the National Guard to arrest everybody who's standing on the highway. Like, he thinks he's so clever. Anyway, so why did I want to show this? Well, this guy is obviously someone that Ethan Klein holds in high regard. He's a fascist piece of shit. We know that Ethan Klein's community has been cozying up to fascist-minded people for a long time and looking the other way when we're experiencing the most fascist regime out of all of the American presidencies. And Ethan Klein has completely looked the other way on everything bad that they've been doing. So this is another step in the descent towards full-out fascism on Ethan Klein's show. Let's play this clip.
Bad, I'll tell you that. And let's see, Hassan mentioned you on the protest. Yeah, I saw a little bit about that. I mean, I'll look at, you know what? I'll look at it right now. Why not? Yeah, I saw this. Where'd it go? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, he's out there. He's out there.
Hey, well, glad you can read my beautiful live chat while watching way better content than mine.
They're talking about me. Where is it?
Hopefully one day we'll see the largest political commentator Asmongold out here in the streets, you know, for protesting, for, I don't know, making...
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll go with the National Guard to arrest everybody who's standing in the highway. Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Bro, okay, say what you want about the hogs that are in the police force. Like, at least they need to be in some kind of physical fitness to just beat the shit out of protesters, to actually, like, use a gun and wear all of the gear that they show up at. Can you imagine Asmongold with his fucking roach-infested body walking through the streets with a bunch of thugs behind him, it would look like I don't even know. It would look like some kind of fucking like Despicable Me movie where he's the villain of the week and he's just got a bunch of fascist thugs behind him, but they don't respect him at all. He'd be like that guy Vector. He thinks he's cooking so hard. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll show up there with the National Guard.
Yeah, if I could go and do that, I feel like, you know what? That sounds like a really good idea. I love that idea. This guy's smart. Really bad, I'll tell you that.
I mean, bro, Asmongold would get his shit rocked. Honestly, the cops, I wouldn't be surprised if the cops like beat him up too, just for fun. Another fucking person that is somehow been condoned by the Ethan Klein podcast. What the fuck is this shit? You actually have to care about how you present your movement to the public eye. So let me get this straight. Resisting a violent organization, which is ICE. ICE is a violent terrorist organization. Their point is to spread terror into the immigrant community so that immigrants will think twice about moving to the United States. That's the point of ICE. They're a terrorist, unlawful organization that is illegally kidnapping people, beating people, and deporting people, tearing families apart. They're literally like worst of the worst. People are resisting them, and a guy is not wearing a shirt. He has a mask on. Oh, I wonder who else has masks on. Maybe the immigration, maybe the ICE agents, because they don't want their families, or they don't want any of these illegal terrorist actions to have repercussions in their daily lives, so they wear masks. Okay. And then he's not wearing a shirt. Dude, the guy's got a banging body. Look at him. He's in good shape. Yeah, who looks at this and is like, you know what? This is giving me a bad vibe. Why? Because he's got the Mexican flag, which is basically a symbol. At this point, the Mexican flag is a symbol of resistance against American fascism. Like, sure, you can use an American flag and try to like reclaim that symbol. I think that would also go hard AF. But do I care about a man waving a Mexican flag when it has been largely Hispanic people that have been targeted by ICE? Like, dude, anyone who complains about that is actually just fucking racist. What the hell is going on? Like, look at this. So anyway, Drew Pavlo, who I think is like an Australian, supposedly anti-fascist communist person, is crying about the optics because of one fucking picture compared to one picture of the civil rights movement. I mean, holy shit. Civil rights movement violence. Oh my god, guys, the civil rights movement really didn't care how they presented themselves. Oh my god, look. They must have done something really bad to be hosed down like that. Wow, looks really violent from the civil rights protest. The cops were just trying to hold the peace. Oh my god, look at these guys. Just like getting beaten by the cops for... They must have done something wrong. Oh my gosh. He's dangerously loitering here. Oh, are they throwing rocks? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, you get this fascist piece of shit. I find people hate the idea of having to present themselves like the photo on the right, although it was the most successful movement. Yeah, they don't get to feel like cool communist revolutionaries when they dress respectfully. Oh my god. So it's not even the car burning that this guy has an issue with. It's the fact that he doesn't have a shirt and he's not wearing a suit with a tie. Absolutely insane. Oh yeah, because the cops aren't going to shoot you with rubber bullets if you show up in a suit and tie. Are you fucking kidding me? They don't get to feel like cool communist revolutionaries when they don't dress respectfully. Do you think... Let's just examine what this man is wearing. He's wearing fucking... I don't... Like, what are these? Just baggy ass pants with a... He has way better fashion than a communist revolutionary. Does he think this guy is a self-proclaimed communist revolutionary, and that's why he dressed with no shirt? Just nuts. I'm against deportations targeting non-criminals and non-extremists. Okay, so he's fine with the deportations if they target criminals and extremists. First, I've never understood this logic. And the Trump administration doesn't even follow this logic, right? If you are targeting a criminal, why don't you just try the criminal? And then maybe as part of their punishment, you can deport them. But that's not what we're seeing at all. We're seeing people getting deported before they're actually charged for any crime. And so, like, saying that we're just deporting criminals, that's an excuse to just use ICE as a way to target all immigrants and basically target anyone. And like, if you want more evidence that this is what fascists are saying, like, look at this. I open Twitter. I don't follow anyone. This is what the first thing on my Twitter feed is. Elon Musk posting the exact same picture as Drew Pavlo and saying this is not okay. We know Elon Musk is an ideological Nazi. This guy's posting the same shit that a Nazi's posting. Maybe if you see yourself posting the exact same thing as someone who Sig hailed like 4 months ago, you should think twice about what you're doing. By the way, this is a sick AF picture. Like, it is a rebellion against injustice. The American Constitution grants its citizens the rights to uprise against an unjust movement. Palestine has become a symbol of fight against oppression the world over. That is why American rebel holds a Palestinian. That's not a Palestinian. Was this written by AI? What? But anyway, like, yeah, this guy, Elon Musk, posts the exact same picture as Drew Pavlo, has pretty much the exact same argument too. Just saying that, oh, the way he's dressed makes him look bad. This is so funny too. At Grok, oh my god, a motherfucker named I'm Batman on Twitter asked Grok to draw Asmongold arresting Hassan. Holy shit. There's like 110% chance that Hassan has a secret drawer in his room that's full of nothing hentai he's done of him and the old baddie. I've never seen somebody live rent-free in someone's head the way Asmongold does in Hassan. Asmogold. What is this? There's like 110% chance that AI, it looks like an AI generated PFP too, chance that Hassan has a secret drawer in his room that's full of nothing hentai he's done of him and old Obaldi. Oh, okay. That guy has some sexual, like, deep-seated sexual fantasies going on between Hassan. I love this too. The Irish, Italians, and Greeks aren't presently burning down any major American cities. Oh, yeah. I mean, he said presently, because I also love, like, Michael Knowles trying to turn this into a race war as soon as possible. So yeah, fascists will do fascist things. It's been an extremely peaceful protest until the National Guard showed up because, well, the cops were beating the shit out of people too. But what was I gonna do? It's like the LA sheriff on National Guard. I think he blamed ICE. LA sheriff calls situation unprecedented. LA sheriff deputies move in on LA ICE protesters. LA protests against ICE as raids escalate after Trump. What happened during 3 days? LA sheriff calls situation unprecedented. Okay, what's this? LA sheriff calls situation unprecedented as Trump and Newsom clash over ICE protests. Wow.
Hundreds of Marines to Los.
The way that they're framing this, oh, it's an equal battle between Trump and Newsom and not the fucking president of the United States illegally federalizing the California National Guard and sending them in, and then also sending in Marines to crack skulls of protesters that are just trying to protect their community members and not have families being ripped apart.
Angeles to to support the National Guard as protesters demonstrate for a fourth day against the...
What the fuck is wrong with news media where they don't show videos? Are they just afraid that they don't have the copyright to it?
Yes, I'd say maybe 1,000 or so. It has been intense. It has been building. Earlier it was calm, but right now you can sort of feel that energy shifting. Not what anybody wanted to see. It's been several days of this kind of thing leading to difficult evenings. Here's a look now at how we've got to this point.
Protesters have returned to downtown Los Angeles, and with them, a sense of unease.
We're in the midst of a peaceful protest just off the edge here of downtown LA. Police are ultimately trying to move them away from downtown LA where the federal building...
You're saying that they're not violently looting and burning down the entire city? But that's what I'm hearing from people like fucking Bernie Sanders. Like, look at this, guys. This is the exact type of fascist rhetoric that we just saw Elon Musk, that idiot Drew Pavlo, and even guys like Asmongold saying. Dr. King defeated, and Michael Knowles as well, Dr. King defeated racist government officials and ended segregation through disciplined, nonviolent resistance. Yeah, well, there were also violent aspects of resisting racism. Like, to pretend that there was no violence in resisting racism in the United States through every step of the way is burying your head in the sand. Defeating Trumpism, oligarchy, and authoritarianism requires that same level of discipline. Violent protests are counterproductive and play right into Trump's playbook. Well, shouldn't you be criticizing Trump then? Because Trump sent in the National Guard. It was the cops that were violent against the protesters. So anyway, like Bernie Sanders drawing the comparison between this protest movement that we're seeing now that are resisting Trump's Gestapo and the civil rights movement, and saying that this protest is a unique level of bad and a unique level of violence. The civil rights movement was this perfect nonviolent movement that was unimpeachable, and that's why it actually achieved the things that it did achieve. These protesters are peaceful. Like, okay, it says these protesters are peaceful, right? So let's see what violence they were doing. Wow. So they're violently taking pictures, I'll say that. He lit a handful of grass on fire? Oh my god. Oh my god, we should fucking shoot him. We should actually like tie him between 4 horses and have them run at all different angles. Because that's the only punishment that can fit that heinous crime that he just committed. So you're telling me... Bro, who posted this? Corbin Williams. You're telling me this guy made a compilation of violent scenes of the protesters being violent, and the thing he could find, the first 2 things in his video is a guy just standing on a car. Okay, but he's violently shirtless. His body is just violently ripped. That's why, okay? And then a guy throwing a small handful of grass that he lights on fire and then dropping it on the highway. That's violence. Dropping a fucking handful of grass on the highway is violence. Okay. Like, okay, and we'll go back to those burning cars later, but it's so funny to me that like a car burning, that's what's considered to be violent forms of protest now. That's what's considered to be violent forms of protest, because there never has been, at least in the past like 10 years, a violent protest movement where there's actually been violence. And so they just want to say that any kind of destruction of property, that's the violence that needs to be stamped out. And once again, that would be the kind of protesting that guys like Ethan Klein and Lonerbox say they support, because they say that that's what the ANC in South Africa did. But let's see if they're going to be supporting this kind of violence. Oh my god, they burned down a car. Oh, we should arrest them. They should all be executed. We should, come on. Draw a line from point A to point B. A car in LA gets lit on fire. Thus, we must send in the Marines, right? Like that's what Bernie Sanders said. They play right into Trump's playbook. So he's saying that it's justified. The violence is justifying Trump's actions. That's what Bernie Sanders is saying. So how is lighting like 10 pieces of grass on fire and dropping it onto the highway, how is that justifying Marines sent into downtown LA? It's the most anticlimactic thing ever. He just drops it and nothing happens. I was expecting like it to land in a puddle of gasoline and you get a Michael Bay-esque explosion and a fucking gasoline-fueled fireball. But no, he just drops it and nothing happens. Oh my god. These poor police cars, they're getting all beaten up. Like, once again, I love the idea that damaging property is now equal to a violent protest. Wow. These protesters say they care about the environment, and yet they burn things, causing smoke and carbon to fill the atmosphere. Is there nothing that Democrats aren't hypocritical over? What was this? They're sitting on the they're sitting on the side of the road? What is this, where they're just like chilling out listening to music? They're hitting bottles on rocks? I love how the only violence they actually show is police shooting the protesters. Yeah, maybe the reason that the protesters were burning down cop cars and breaking them apart is because the police are the violent thugs that are trying to shoot everyone there and is trying to suppress people's First Amendment rights of freedom of expression. Oh, they set multiple WAMOs on fire? Someone throws, so it's like 10 pops of police guns shooting rubber bullets into the crowd. Someone throws one firecracker that scares a horse, and then a guy filming is like, ah ha ha, starts laughing at them, and then you get this glare from the cop. He's like, really, dude, really? Not cool, bro. That really scared me. I thought there was a fraction of the amount of violence I was meting out about these protesters was returned upon me, but it turned out it was just a firecracker.
Yeah, Freeman! Yeah, Freeman, you fucking bitch! You pigs! Fucking pigs!
Oh no! No, you're not going to tell me that calling a cop a pig and making them feel bad is violence. Look at this fucking dumbass standing there with his tear gas grenade launcher. He's like, what? You're calling me a pig? Why would you do that? My mom says I'm a very special boy. Look at him, dude, in his fucking tactical gear. Why the fuck is your visor pulled up? Come on, bro, you're in a very violent situation. Someone's violently calling you a pig. You better pull that thing down so you can take the insult better.
Pigs! Fucking coward ass pigs! Fucking coward pigs!
Like, once again, why would they include police shooting people if you're trying to say that the protesters are the ones that's violent? All I've seen so far is protesters damaging police cars, and the true actual human violence done upon humans, has been entirely the cops. Whoa, you want to say that someone got the cops' heart rate elevated when a firecracker went off? Well, maybe you should compare that to the fucking tear gas that the cops were shooting that warranted that response of firing a firecracker to try to make them, like, move a little bit. Dude, it's a fucking firecracker. There's videos of like 4-year-old kids getting firecrackers blown up in their face and they're completely fine. This is like an anti-cop propaganda video. Like honestly, maybe this was done sarcastically. These protesters are peaceful. Maybe this is maybe they actually are in favor of peaceful maybe they actually are saying that the protests are peaceful. Like I thought it was going to be an anti-protest video based off of these protesters are peaceful, you know. The pig turned his head around like his no. That's a good point. He's like, "Wait, are you talking to me?" Because I've been called that before. They're violent. Yeah, they're violently Spanish. Ethan Klein announced that he's now officially sponsored by none other than Dan Saltman's company Redact. Totally not a DGGer, by the way. How does Dan Saltman have money to sponsor that show? I do love how he just looks at the guys like, God damn it. It's like, fine, you caught me being a little bit of a bitch.
You pigs! Fucking pigs! Fucking coward ass pigs! Fucking coward pigs! God! God!
Imagine just like Asmongold written on a patch on the front of the helmet. Like, dude, Asmongold would be shitting his pants if he was there. Like, say what you want about cops, they have been trained to be like dumb, thick-headed pigs, and when they have numbers, they are brave. Like, they will stand there, they'll bravely face down rocks being thrown at them, firecrackers being thrown at them, and then they'll just like shoot you with overwhelming force, bring out their sonic blasters, and just like blow up your eardrums, crush you with your horses. Asmongold can't do any of that. What's he gonna do? Like, run home and laugh behind his computer screen? Oh, I really showed them. I left a trail of brown and yellow piss and shit all the way back to my house. Oh my god, the violent protester assaulted the police officer's baton as she failed to move out of the way as he was swinging it in a general direction towards her. Look at how this protester violently assaults this poor police officer's weapon with her body. Threatening 145-pound woman violently assaults a poor police officer's baton, and he has to retire it and send it to therapy for the next 6 months. Also, notice how it's in most of these, it's the police that are blocking the roads. Oh, get out of my way. We need to send another 200 people to the front lines because the first 200 that we sent can't hold it down. They need backup. They were called pigs and they need to retire so they can recover their feelings. Like, honestly, what the fuck was the point of that video? So you agree we're violent. Oh my god, why can people not write? It's honestly painful to look at this. And while we're on the subject of this, I am curious. Oh yeah, man. Okay, so the gym I go to they play Fox News, and I didn't hear any of this, but I saw them talking about it, and I wanted to see what they were saying about it, because it like, this Fox News shit is insane. Ethically, anyone who has to handle Asmongold should get a full hazmat PPE.
Well, they do call it the city
Well, not
of
the
angels.
cops.
Yeah, if this is how angels conduct themselves.
Okay, right off the bat, a banger line from Laura Ingraham. What is this interface? It automatically switches to like 7 videos? Oh my god.
Now, coming to a blue state near you. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Well, they do call it the city of angels. Yeah, if this is how angels conduct themselves.
What were they burning? Oh my god. A man with a skateboard breaking windows. Horrible. Notice it's one person too. And everyone else has just been beating up cop cars who have been actively just like rocking the shit of protesters.
I love the skateboard. Now, the scenes are all so familiar, aren't they?
Bro, okay, I fucking love Fox News because their audience is so old, they need to cater to a crowd that is still like, oh, those damn skateboarders always grinding on rails and doing ollies. They just need to get it, they just need to shave their hair and get a good job. Like, it's such a fucking old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but like old people view of hating on the world. Not only are we going to show violence, but let's find like the 2 clips of people using skateboards to damage properties. That's the thing old people hate the most: property damage and skateboarders. And we'll combine it, and we're going to have like this perfect algorithmic clips to rile up our audience.
Mexican flag flying.
Oh, they're Waymo taxis.
Proudly, the verbal taunts of law enforcement.
Oh yeah, I did hear that they were getting taxis and then like lighting them on fire or breaking them down.
Bro, you trying to hide from the government? We're gonna block this mother.
Wait, what? What did she say? Yeah, I guess you're right. That's not really a cop car.
Of the skateboard. Now, the scenes are all so familiar, aren't they? The Mexican
This is too low.
flying proudly, the verbal taunts of law enforcement.
Why you covering your face, bro?
The verbal taunts of law enforcement. Oh my god. As law enforcement is like beating the shit out of people. Oh, they're verbally taunting law. Well, maybe the law enforcement wouldn't be verbally taunted if they weren't there. Also, why are you covering your face, boy, is a valid question. How is that a verbal taunt? Holy shit. If they're law enforcement, why do they need to cover their face?
The government? We're gonna block this mother.
The printed signs with
Saying get back as you and like 50 of your squad mates are marching the people down.
focus group tested slogans. So tedious. Oh, of course, the masks, as Bill referenced, covering the faces of all the proud protesters. It's also legitimate. Why are they covering their faces? Well, seeing the destruction of the past 72 hours, President Trump, of all the proud... The printed signs with focus group tested slogans. So tedious. Oh, of course, the masks, as Bill referenced.
Bro, is that their best criticism? It's tedious. The signs are tedious. Also, it's the most straightforward message you could possibly give. ICE out of LA. It's like 7 letters. Or I guess 8 letters. It's 8 letters. ICE out of LA. That's a tedious sign for you, Laura Ingraham? Also, like, focus group tested signs. They want to simultaneously say that these protest movements were basically manufactured by George Soros, but they also want to say that, well, that it's like a bad look to burn down cars. So which is it? Is it hooligans burning down cars, or is it a focus tested, billionaire funded group that's a psyop to try to convince people there's a popular movement against Donald Trump. Like, come on. It just, one sentence to the next, this message doesn't make any sense.
It's covering the faces of all the proud protesters.
Like, also, why are you criticizing the masks when you just played a clip of a cop, according to you, getting verbally assaulted for wearing a mask? The cop is wearing a mask, and in the next sentence you turn around and say that, oh, why are the protesters wearing a mask? What the fuck are you talking about? Holy shit.
So tedious. Oh, of course, the masks, as Bill referenced, covering the faces of all the proud protesters. It's also legitimate. Why are they covering their faces? Well, seeing the destruction of the past 72 hours, President Trump has...
Why? Okay, like, they're covering their faces because we live in a surveillance state, and Donald Trump is a vindictive dictator who will try to just, like, ruin your life, deport you, kill you, arrest you for daring resist him. People are getting their social media screened when they're coming into the country. If you criticize Trump and you're even an American citizen coming into the country, you're getting detained and basically interrogated to try to get you on anything that is that they can convict you on or detain you for any reason. So yeah, people are trying to make it so that they can't be easily identified by the fascist authoritarian surveillance state that they are resisting. Like, holy shit, how is it this hard of a concept for you to understand?
sent in all those Marines that Bill referenced to protect federal buildings in L.A. So rather than thanking the president for helping out, L.A. Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom blamed Trump for escalating things.
Well, the Marines are stationed nearby, and so we already have the military in our midst. But I really think we need to go back and look at norms and look at what policies and laws actually are, because I think the thing that is challenging in this administration is that you don't know where the line is.
You don't know where the line is. She wouldn't know. She wouldn't know how to get to from A to B if her life depended on it.
Good job. You brought that line home in the end.
All you need to know.
Oh my God, I fucking hate this interface. Also, you were criticizing Gavin Newsom, weren't you? Why are you playing the mayor of LA?
In the destruction of the past 72 hours, President Trump has sent in all those Marines that Bill referenced to protect federal buildings in LA. So rather than thanking the president for helping out, LA Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom blamed Trump for escalating.
Okay, well, I guess she said both.
Well, the Marines are stationed nearby, and so we already have the military in our midst. But I really think we need to go back and look at norms and look at what policies and laws actually are, because I think the thing that is challenging in this administration is that you don't know where the line is.
You don't know where the line is. She wouldn't know. She wouldn't know how to get to
She
from
really,
A to B.
Laura Ingraham really nailed that. She wouldn't, the line, she wouldn't even know what a line from A to B would look like.
If her life depended on it. All you need to know is that Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom simply do not care what happens to L.A. I mean, the Hollywood sign could be burning, Beverly Hills could be burned down, and as long
it's
as
like
their
3
views
fucking
align with
cars.
the views of the protesters, it's okay. Democrats in power would tolerate it. If you're a criminal and you hate Trump, or again, if you're lined up with a liberal cause, the cause du jour, you will be protected somehow, some way. And many of you are asking, a lot of you came up to me over the weekend, who has time to protest? Aren't these people working? And who's really the man?
Motherfucker, this was during the weekend. This was on Sunday. Oh my God. Oh my, like literally hitting every single beat. Oh, the protesters were, the protesters were done by skateboarders. The protesters damaged property. They hit windows. Oh, why aren't the protesters working?
Or the men and women behind the curtain pulling everyone together here. Well, some of the groups involved include
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights L.
Okay, so now it's groups are involved, it's Soros funded, it's these people that are simultaneously acting like animals and burning shit and covering their faces because they know that repercussions are going to hit them. But at the same time, they're institutionally endorsed. They're well funded, their movements and slogans are focus tested, and actually, like, they don't even need to show their faces because they're going to be protected by the mayor of LA and by Gavin Newsom. So why would they even cover up their faces? Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. This is doublethink. They're literally just training their followers to be like, yes, they're simultaneously dirty, disgusting animals that are completely lawless, but actually completely endorsed by institutions. And this is a psyop being run from the top down by George Soros.
Otherwise known as CHRLA. This is one of the biggies. It's a rabid Open Borders Front organization. It demands amnesty for all 11 million illegals, more like 20 million. But what really burn you up about this group is the fact that over the years, it's received more than $45 million in government grants for its immigrant rights work. Yeah, your money. It's so radical, in fact, that it lost funding from the government more than a year ago. In other words, they were even too crazy for the Biden people. The New York Post cites the PSLAS co-organizers as co-organizers of these anti-ICE actions.
You have to admit that they do a great job at spinning all of this shit, right? Oh, if the funding was increased under Biden, this is a radical right or left-wing coalition that is just trying to replace the demographics of this country, funded from the top by Joe Biden. But if they lost funding underneath Joe Biden, well, they're a radical extreme group that's too crazy even for Joe Biden to fund. That's how crazy they are. So, you know, they do a great job of spinning it either way. And I love the idea that you spend $45 million over the past 4 years, or what was it, 5 years, to, I don't know, facilitate the documentation of our immigrant communities, and that is somehow a horrible thing? Like, what world are we living in now where trying to get people documented is bad? I mean, unless you're just a straight white supremacist with, I guess Laura Ingraham is. I shouldn't be surprised at that. Like, there's no reason to oppose this. Immigrant communities not only bring a valuable culture and increased population, but they also are a huge subsidy to our tax base. Immigrants get taxed, and they usually, especially undocumented immigrants, don't draw on the same type of resources from the government that full-blown American citizens do. They don't draw Social Security. They don't have. Can't like use regular services that American citizens would pull from the government.
And riots, they're promising more in the coming months. It's a socialist organization. And then there's the Unión del Barrio. It's spearheading the so-called Community Self-Defense Coalition. It's a network of 50 to 80 groups that train volunteers to identify and block ICE raids. It uses bullhorns to warn migrants. It patrols communities. And it even does what's called...
Damn, honestly, Laura Ingram's doing Laura Ingraham, right? Laura Ingram's doing a good job of telling people the groups they should get involved with in their local communities. What was this group?
Self-defense training. We imagine that train...
Self-defense training? Fuck this stupid interface. Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right, and now,
the
groups involved in radical, in fact, that it's 80 groups.
Wait, how many years was this? It's since 2021. Oh my god, dude.
Crazy for the Biden people. The New York Post cites the PSLAS co-organizers as co-organizers of these
PSLAS. Check it out if you live in LA. PSLAS. Let's just take a quick look at that. PSLAS. LA organization. PS Los Angeles. We're the LA branch of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. So Party for Socialism and Liberation, LAS. Check it out. Oh, they train you on how to defend yourself. You fucking evil. Okay, anyway. Gotta love Fox News. Gotta love Fox News.
And riots, they're promising more in the coming months. It's a socialist organization. And
It's
then
a socialist
there's
organization.
The Unión del Barrio. It's spearheading the so-called Community Self-Defense
Oh,
Coalition.
this is what I was
It's a
talking about.
network of 50
Unión
to
del
80
Barrio.
groups that train volunteers to identify and block ICE raids. It uses bullhorns to warn migrants. It patrols communities. And it even does what's called self-defense training. We imagine that's defending themselves against law enforcement. Now, these coalitions were reportedly
Bro, you can't, Laura, why would you say that? Self-defense training, that's training yourself against law enforcement. To do what? Not get fucking, like, your head curb stomped? Oh my god. First of all, self-defense training. Oh, that's so bad. That's basically what the Republicans always advocate against. Oh, instead of having, like, a ban on guns, you should just learn self-defense and buy a gun. Now that a lefty pro-immigration organization is doing self-defense training, they're learning how to fight against the cops. We have to make sure that we take all of their guns away.
on site during raids and frequently got into it with law enforcement and federal agents. And finally, on the list of 4 or 5, the old standby, Antifa and other far-left elements.
Oh
Now,
my
of course,
God,
civil unrest and
Antifa.
violence is their stock and trade, Antifa. And many of those, of course, spray painting the storefronts over the weekend and the vehicles. If you were
Spray
online,
painting.
you saw a lot of this. They leave behind the tedious Antifa logo with
Oh,
the circle
tedious.
around it. How clever.
She's overusing the word.
They're basically scattered throughout the protests, and they tend to egg people on. Bill talked about the people in the kind of black bloc uniform. That's who the Antifa crowd usually is. So you think about this group that I just listed. This is a great bunch to be associated with, right, if you're a politician?
Yeah, sure.
Insane about
I mean,
this
it's
is
your
that the
constituents if you're a
Democrats
Californian
actually
politician.
think this works for them.
And it's representing the constituency of every other Democratic politician, too, because, you know, Democrats do disproportionately represent immigrants, immigrant communities. And so why would you not want to be associated with defending immigrant communities if you're a Democratic politician?
In fact, they think it's a winning formula. Now, remember back in 2020, another blue city devolved into chaos because Governor Tim Walz, thanks Tim, and Mayor Jacob Fry were more interested in understanding the pain of the protesters than restoring law and order and protecting businesses.
Tim Walz
on the
did send
ground.
in the National Guard.
And as we all remember, things
like
got
3 days into
totally
the
out of
protest.
hand and really fast. The thugs who burned down the 3rd Police Precinct, who destroyed businesses owned by the locals.
Donald Trump literally applauded Tim Walz for how he handled the Minneapolis protests. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, maybe you should check with your God Emperor Donald Trump before you criticize something that he personally endorsed.
Interviewed a bunch of them at the time in the aftermath. Yeah, these protesters didn't care about George Floyd. They weren't fretting about police brutality. Come on. They exploited a tragic situation to loot and to raise hell. And the agitators, hoping that it would spread to other cities.
Bro, holy fuck. It's just so concentrated racist. It's like the purest form of racism. Oh, these people didn't actually care that one of their neighbors and a citizen of the city they live in was brutally executed in broad daylight in the middle of the public street, and no one stepped in to help them. Well, like, people were stepping in, but none of the cops were stepping in to help them. The cops were just standing around as the guy got the life slowly drained from him by a knee on the back of his neck. No one actually cared about that. They're all, like, basically everyone in Minneapolis is just violent, and they're just a violent animal, and they're just waiting for the time to strike so they can unleash their inner desires for violence and destruction. Holy fuck, Laura. I mean, I know, like, it's kind of funny because this is ironically exactly what Trump is doing. He's using ICE to rile up protests, and then he's using that to really just like lean into his most immediate inclinations of violent suppression of dissent. So he's kind of using these protests as a excuse to flex his authoritarian muscles and just like send in the Marines, send in the National Guard, crack some skulls, try to rule through fear.
Cities at the time, they worked hard, and remember, it did spread to other cities with deadly results, from Wisconsin to Seattle to Portland to Chicago to New York. We saw it across the line, and also here in D.C. I was actually at one of those protests undercover. And after all of that destruction and the lives lost, you have to ask, what did they accomplish?
Laura Ingram's like, I was actually there. Like, I was one of the people that burned down the Target. I was deep undercover. Laura Ingram dressed all in black in an Antifa uniform.
Oh, nothing. Except maybe some of the race hustlers got rich and the DEI scam got a huge boost. But it's the same situation now with the anti-ICE protests. None of these people, and I mean none of them, not a single one
That's
of
a
them
good point, Laura.
really
We should protest
care
harder. We should really protest harder. Like, why did we stop protesting the police? Nothing actually changed.
about these communities or the plight of migrants. Because if they did, they'd know what a nightmare an open border has been to all people. The cartels got rich and women and children got trafficked. The truth is, the organizers of the chaos,
Women and children got
our
trafficked?
federal government is legitimate, especially when it's led by Donald Trump. And they do not feel obliged to follow any of our laws, and I mean any of them. And Biden and Mayorkas, they basically tacitly agreed. They opened the border.
I know. I'm really curious to see her undercover report now.
And they gave benefits to...
I'm sorry, this is like kind of just getting boring. It was funny at the beginning, but now she's just doing the classic protesting is bad. Okay, one more clip on this, just because it's so funny. And it you know, these Republicans at the end of the day are the biggest snowflakes in the world, where if you just criticize them, you're verbally assaulting them, right? And that's violence against police officers. Calling a police officer, why are you wearing a mask, boy? That's violent verbal assault.
My officers and agents walk into danger so other people can sleep safely at night, so kids can make it to school safely and play outside. So while...
Bro, is this guy serious? Look at the way he's acting. It looks like he doesn't believe a word he's saying.
My officers and agents walk into danger so other people can sleep safely at night.
Can seep? They can seep safely at night? Dude, fucking idiot. Misspoke. What a dumbass.
So kids can make it to school safely and play outside.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're arresting dishwashers. You're raiding restaurants and like raiding Home Depots. The fuck are you talking? Oh my god, the violent people that are somehow loitering outside Home Depots and simultaneously harassing children that are walking to schools. I didn't know that so many Home Depot parking lots were in the direct path between houses and an elementary school.
So while it's easy to be an armchair quarterback and make up talking points that get activists riled up, the bottom line is my officers and agents are out there protecting the same people who are threatening their safety. Law enforcement's common sense.
Dude, oh my god, why does this guy look like a Berserk character? He looks like one of the fucking corrupt priests that need to be smited in Berserk.
Politicians need to stop putting my people in danger. I'm not asking...
Oh my god, why is law enforcement not only just like extremely violent, vindictive, evil, and fascist, but also the biggest cowards and pussies that you ever see? Oh, you criticize someone. Oh, you called me a pig. That's violent speech that's used that's an assault of words against me. This guy, politician saying ICE is bad. That's putting my agents in danger. Are you kidding me?
Them to stop. I'm demanding that they stop.
I'm demanding they stop. What, are you going to arrest Gavin Newsom? Like, come on. Arrest him.
I have to say to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and anyone else stirring up the outrage about what ICE does. These are real people with real families you're hurting with your ridiculous rhetoric and inflammatory comments. And it's time to remember that.
It's time to remember that my agents aren't real people. Like, it's like, come on, guys, we're not actually pigs. We're not actually just like dogs that Trump unleashes on people that he doesn't like. No, come on, guys, we're actually real. We're real people, right? Okay, that was fucking hilarious. So he's like, we're real people and with real families, and you need to remember that. Like, the irony, the lack of self-awareness is astounding. Just while you run the agency that's destroying this country, just breaking up families, deporting children, trying to get women that have just given birth deported, you're gonna be like, oh my god, guys, come on, my fascist thugs, they're real people too. Yeah, we know that they don't want any repercussions for their violent, illegal actions. That's why they cover their faces. Newsom responds to Holman's statement on possibly arresting him. He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do this? Okay, so we're going to try to wrap this up, and then I got one more thing to cover on this stream.
Yesterday, he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what?
Oh.
Let your hand.
The resistance liberals, sure, I'll cuddle up to Charlie Kirk, and I'll have Bill Maher on my podcast, and we'll complain about how trans people lost the election. But when it comes to playing tough against Trump, I'm there all the time. I mean, at least the resistance liberals are consistent in their anti-Trump stance, and hopefully that at least can continue from Gavin Newsom. Sure, he'll cuddle up to other aspects of the Republican Party, but hopefully he can stay consistent in just being anti-Trump. Like, that's the bare minimum right now. Like, be vocally anti-Trump.
If you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what? Let your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated. Let your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes.
Bro, it's so performative.
The fear.
Let's see, how long do I need to keep my hands here on my chest before I can release them to make sure that I have the maximum import? It's like when you're playing any kind of golf video game and you need to like maximize the power that you get by hitting it in the perfect point. You're like, all right, hold it, release. Get the maximum impact for my emotional statement. This is going to go so viral.
The horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me.
Well, call ICE a terrorist organization. Call for the complete dissolution of ICE. Call for your entire state to not allow ICE agents into the state. Call for them to not work with the state. Like, I'm hearing a lot of, man, I'm taking a stand against Trump and everyone's going to look at me and see me as a resistance figure against Donald Trump's fascism, and then they're going to vote for me in the next presidential election. But I'm not hearing a lot of actual ways you're going to push back against Donald Trump and ICE. But yeah, you're doing a great job making the situation about you.
Let's go.
I'm ready to be the victim here. So yeah, Gavin Newsom doing the bare minimum. Just one more thing on this. Where was this clip? Oh yeah. We're gonna take a look at this and then we're gonna move on.
Gavin Newsom he's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it?
So the reporter said Gavin Newsom is daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? Ooh, Tom Homan responds. This is some good drama.
Tom, I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look.
Trump recognizes game. He's like, Gavin wants the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing.
Gavin Newsom, he's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows. All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. we're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget. What does your intel tell you about these people causing...
Bro, what the fuck did he just... He's like, Gavin Newsom couldn't build a train station, but I built a flagpole in the White House front lawn. Oh my god. That's the extent of Trump's infrastructure plan. He built a fucking flagpole in the White House front lawn. That's so funny. Just look at his little railroad project. It's an embarrassment. I built a flagpole. They said it would cost $80. I did it in 72. Holy shit.
Are they people ICE is trying to deport, or are they professional agitators?
The people that are causing the problem are professional agitators. They're insurrectionists. They're bad people. They should be in jail. Thank you.
Anyway, arrest Gavin Newsom for being incompetent. Wait, where's the Tom Homan thing? I wanted to see that. No, what? Oh my fucking god, why does this shit suck so much? Tom Homan, come on. I need to... If this is less than 2 minutes, I'll watch it. Jesus Christ, he just looks like an alcoholic dad who can't wait to leave his family to fish on the weekends. Oh, okay, it's over 7 minutes. I'm not watching this shit. Gavin Newsom is a good man, but try to rush him. He's above the law. Just slurring his words until he makes it. Okay, so last thing I wanted to cover today is the Greta Thunberg thing. Greta Thunberg. Seen and unseen, Hamas harbor is not so easy to reach. Jesus Christ, that's how they're framing this. So before we get into this, wanted to... Where is... Let's close some tabs here. First 100 days, how many did he export? Oh yeah, Greta Thunberg was the most beautiful flagpole, some say the best ever, a flagpole better than all the other flagpoles. Okay, so Greta Thunberg was going to Israel, or not going to Israel, she was going to Gaza, because she wanted to break the siege that they were doing on Gaza, and feed Palestinians. And they were reporting drones over they were reporting Israeli drones over the course of the ship. Apparently the drones then dumped paint on them so that they could be seen on UV cameras, and then the ship was boarded. All of their cell phones were ordered to be thrown into the ocean, and then the ship was boarded, and basically they were all, well, I don't know if they were all deported, but Israeli forces then deported them. So we can take a look at this email. This is the last message that was released from Greta.
I am from Sweden. If you see this video, we have been intercepted and kidnapped in international waters by the Israeli occupational forces or forces that support Israel. I urge all my friends, family...
So once again, she pre-recorded this video. She didn't know which group would be the ones picking her up, but it was the IOF that picked her up. It was in international waters. This is a complete war crime. People that are supporting this are just straight up supporting war crimes, and yeah, there's just no excuse for it. You can't pick people up in international waters, even if they were in like right off the coast of Gaza. That's still Gaza's borders. And what right does Israel have to pick them up? Holy
the
shit.
Swedish government to release me and the others as soon as possible.
Okay, so she released that. Oh, and then you see that, I mean, man, just the amount of hatred that this poor girl is getting. It's just like a mix of ableism, because I think she has Asperger's, right? And, or I don't know. But anyway, it's a mix of ableism, sexism, ageism, just a hatred against leftists and progressives. Just all of it is culminating. And really just like, she's the perfect target for all of these disgusting people to go against. So, hope Greta can swim. Senator Graham urges Israel to bomb Thunberg's Gaza aid ship amid uproar. Okay, so he tweets, hope Greta and her friends can swim. Like basically saying Israel's going to bomb the ship. Holy shit, what the fuck is this music? Okay, anyway, so he tweets that. Then you get like the fucking unpaid, like the earned media from the Trump organization, the new media branch of the right-wing propaganda, just all coming out to be like, oh yeah, Greta Thunberg should get fucking killed for trying to help Palestinians.
I have no problem. It is crazy, though. If we're being honest, this is also my whole story. Jews control the media. It's like, well, we're not doing a great job of it right now.
You're fucking it up. You are fucking it up.
Who's ever like they're asleep, like at the helm.
But now, you should just go over to Gaza. We can do unnamed. You can be live in Gaza.
I'll jump on Greta Van Thorsten or whatever that girl. She's sailing there, like whoever that fucking. I hope they hit a fucking like. A missile on her boat.
Well, I hope they hit a missile.
That's like,
on the boat.
I hate when I hit a missile on a boat.
Knock that boat down, Greta, whatever her name is.
Thunberg, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So just casually advocating for the bombing of Greta Thunberg's ship, the Madeleine, just absolutely disgusting from this guy. And this is the guy that was crying about how speech is violence against Jewish people. And then he's like literally advocating for missiles to be dropped on Greta Thunberg. Here we have Joe Rogan Experience, another fucking meathead idiot podcaster.
I ran with crushing that.
Oh,
yeah. No, you got to uppercuts.
Yeah,
it's like
a bunch of fucking
they have all the technique down from years.
Coming out like, oh, crusher.
You know what's really dark? First you grab the arm, you bend.
You say, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I told you not to bring that up in front of my fucking friends.
Did I see you driving?
I told you not to bring that up. It's such a good, like, help me out here. Give me a good pitch.
You see Greta Thunberg's on her way there right now.
She's going to fix it. What's this?
Thunberg's on her way to Iran.
She's going to fix Gaza. Oh, she's on a sailboat.
She's taking a sailboat to
3
Gaza.
years fucking later.
Who is?
I can't wait for them to meet her.
Bro, that little how dare you girl?
Yeah.
How dare you? You know, the climate change girl?
Bro, it's so funny because like Joe Rogan's so old, I don't even associate that with Greta anymore. I pretty much forgot that happened, but that's still on the forefront of Rogan's mind. Hind Rajab have filed war crimes complaints against Israel in the UK. That's good.
You know the little autistic girl?
She's an
well, now
adult,
she's free Palestine. She's singing things off her phone. Now she's at the front of a boat like George Washington, making its way to Gaza.
What happened to the environment,
Bro,
though?
it's like there she is.
Is the
She's
environment
like
done?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
She's got a nice boat.
From the river to the rising sea levels.
She's going to
Not
fix
bad,
it.
dude.
She's going to break the Israeli naval blockade.
I'm working on it. I should got more.
Bro, those IDF guys are going to turn her into cat food.
I mean, holy shit, dude. This is so fucking dystopian. Like, literally a bunch of old men in a cigar smoke-filled room laughing about how old is she? Is she 22? Laughing about a 22-year-old girl trying to feed a starving population getting bombed or shot up. Like, what the fuck is happening?
They will light her up from the fucking shore before she's even close. They don't play no
Everyone's
games.
gonna.
They don't
They don't play no games.
Yeah, they don't play no
they
games.
see it.
Yeah.
They actually maybe come together on who gets to blow it up.
Shane Gillis, fucking idiot, and he's like, "Oh, both sides are gonna blow it up. Hamas is gonna blow up her boat. Why the fuck would they do that, dude?" Scumbags making fun of them. I mean, they're just I mean, it's so disgusting. It's really disgusting.
Maybe that can bridge the gap here.
She could be sacrificing
herself for all of us.
Well, she could be just the best person ever.
Nothing greener
Or
than killing yourself.
She could be someone that they take advantage of and use at the front of the line for every cause.
Yeah. It's one of those.
She's a young kid, man. It's so crazy to take a young kid and like put them
Alter their lives. This is going to be your life now forever.
It's all a psyop. It's all a psyop. Greta Thunberg is I'm just gonna pronounce her name differently every time I say it. Greta Thunberg is just a puppet used by the masterminds that stand for everything Joe Rogan despises, even though he's friends with the President of the United States. It's Greta Thunberg that is the one who's being puppeted by the real by the real masters of the world.
You're the face of X, Y, and Z.
This is even if it's not up there, and it is obviously not obviously, but it
Joe
could be
Rogan's like, well, obviously, if you advocate for two different things, you're a complete hypocrite. How can you advocate for climate change and for Palestinians? What?
Her hands
blowing his
handlers and
mind.
political shit, but it's like
Joe Rogan's like, she's never even taken an ice bath. What a fucking bitch. Sure, she's trying to sail food and aid to Palestinians in Gaza, but can she survive 2 minutes in an ice bath? I think she's just like a complete coward. She's never worked a day in her life.
At least she's
trying.
Gainfully employed.
she's trying
She cares. Yeah, gainfully employed.
But this is when they got the South Park kids to fight against Hardbucks.
What's Hardbucks?
Hardbucks coming in.
Oh my god, you're quoting South Park? What? Are you in middle school? Bro, if you're an adult and you're actually quoting South Park, that's really sad. Oh my, holy shit. These fucking idiots' politics are informed by South Park.
Was it
Giving
Starbucks?
tweaks? Yeah, it's overcoming tweaks. And they're like, make the kids do a story about it, and they're like, all right. And everyone's like, the children are upset. It's the easiest way to go to get your cause done. Let a kid be crying about
a war
Trump.
though, like Israel, Palestine, and Russia, Ukraine really ended the fucking climate change.
Oh yeah,
shit.
Ended everything.
You know what I mean? It was like, it's World War III's coming. It's like we don't have time.
Yeah, none of the climate change
Not worried
people are
about
like, these bombs are
40,000
increasing the temperature.
Yeah.
I think Greta Thunberg,
Oh,
actually,
really?
unless that was fake.
It ended a lot of shit. Like the Palestine, it was like, oh, we forgot about Ukraine, we forgot about BLM, we forgot about.
It ended everybody saying,
Yeah. What the fuck? It ended people don't. Yeah, people are in favor of black people in America getting killed by cops now because their children getting killed in Palestine. Like, these guys are so dumb. Oh my god. How many views does this episode have? 2.5 million views. In 5 days, it has 2.5 million views, and these fucking idiots are like, climate change ended because of Palestine.
dead babies are bad. They go, well, let me see where they're.
Palestine, it was like, oh, we forgot about Ukraine, we forgot about BLM.
Oh, please hit me with the hot take.
We forgot about.
It ended everybody saying dead babies are bad. They go, well, let me see where they were from first. It's crazy how it's just not. This is.
Dude, these guys are so fucking stupid. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh yeah, the leftists that are too pro-Palestinian are they're just not anti-dead baby enough. Is that what this idiot is saying? Like, I know this guy's brain rotted, but are you actually saying that? Oh yeah, the leftists are like, dead babies aren't always bad. Let's see where they're from first. That's literally what the fucking Zionists are doing. Oh my god. No, it's the Zionists that are saying that the terrorist babies are bad. It's the leftists that are saying dead babies on both sides are bad. What the fuck, dude? Oh my god. Literally, Israelis are the ones being like, it's they're baby terrorists, they're terror babies, because they're just going to grow up to be terrorists in Palestine. Oh my god, I'm actually losing it.
All just terrible.
It's really terrible.
You can't kill them in Texas either.
It's a weird time. I caught that one.
Hey, thanks.
I caught it too. I just stared right through it. I just stared at the table going, I don't even think that's funny.
It is crazy I can't watch porn here on my phone.
That's a real fucking
You can.
bummer.
You just have
All
to
right,
take a
and then
photo
let's
of your
go into
ID.
watching porn on your phone. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I can't believe it. Okay. Come on, Laura. Wait. What happened? Anarchists are waving the Mexican flags around LA. They're waving Mexican flags. Oh my god. Like, Laura Ingraham show. I wanted to see the Laura Ingraham on Greta Thunberg.
Unseen, where we reveal the stories behind the headlines. For that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. All right, Raymond, your favorite, Greta Thunberg. Her Gaza cruise seems to have hit some turbulence in the waters.
Yeah, the Hamas harbor, Laura, was not as easy to reach as she and her fellow passengers imagined. Greta posted this urgent message to social media.
If you see this video,
okay, we already saw this.
Intercepted and kidnapped in
comrades,
family and comrades, to put pressure on the Swedish government to release me and the others as soon as possible.
Comrades. Pressure those comrades to help get her released. I mean, Laura, when you violate a blockade around Gaza, you're going to get intercepted. The Israeli boarded this alleged aid ship and gave Greta and her crew sandwiches and water, which begs the question, how much aid were they carrying when they couldn't sustain themselves? I mean, the Israelis are making them watch.
Bro, they're literally on a fucking raft. They're not on the ship in this image. You can clearly see they're huddled together on like a speedboat or a raft or like one of those inflatable rafts. What the fuck are you talking about? Why would they're just gonna open up like a package of dried chickpea flour and just like whip up some tortillas or whatever? What the fuck are you? Oh my god. What is this? What is this talking point? Oh, they say they have food, but the Israelis gave them sandwiches, so obviously they didn't have food. You think they're gonna eat the aid that they were going to give to the Palestinians? Holy yeah, because they just had a bunch of like granola, they just had a bunch of like Cliff Bars that they were gonna give to the Palestinians, and they were just indulging. They were dipping into their stocks. Yeah, it was a fucking performance from Israel. And honestly, like, I'm not even mad at that. Obviously, it's a performance, but I'm not mad that Israel gave proof that the hostages were alive, because they've just executed hostages. They've just executed people that were trying to give aid to Palestinians in the past. So at least they gave out snuff videos where the hostages were alive. Like, that's good. A sign of life is good. And they were indicating that they were going to keep them alive, which is also good. And we do have, I think now, Greta has been sent back to Sweden on a flight. So that's also good news. Like, we can just get into this here. After being illegally arrested by Israel in international waters, Greta Thunberg was placed on a flight to Paris, where she will fly home to Sweden. So that's great that she's still alive. Like, that's honestly a win. What about the other people on that boat? Yeah. Rima Hassan and the French MEP and 5 other French activists refused to sign deportation papers and are still being detained. Ignore the editorializing in the shitty Israeli source. Also, 20 Palestinians were killed trying to get aid from that fake Israeli-American humanitarian foundation today. This is 4 hours ago. And this is why aid is so desperately needed, because every time Palestinians try to get aid from the Americans and from the Israelis, they just get shot and killed. Greta Thunberg just departed Israel on a flight to Sweden via France. So anyway, let's continue this though. Yeah, terrorist granola. Bro, I haven't heard that before. First of all, who sees Israel filming themselves giving them sandwiches, right? Like, they're literally filming them giving them sandwiches. Obviously, that's propaganda to show, oh, look at us, we're treating them humanely, right? I mean, obviously there was violence involved in taking them off of their ship and putting them on this ship and then deporting them. That's a violent action. But Israel's trying to say we're treating them humanely. And these guys are so fucking stupid on Fox News that they see that and they say, wow, they must have been so hungry. That just, like, this is just so stupid in so many different levels. The fact that Israel gave them sandwiches means that they didn't bring food for Palestinians because otherwise they wouldn't be hungry. Like, this is what a fucking moronic 2-year-old will say to you. He'll be like, oh, Why do you wash your hands if your hands don't have visible shit on them? Like, it's just the most inane thing that I've ever heard on a political media.
Footage of the October 7th attack.
Okay, we just have to run this back one more time.
How much aid were they carrying when they couldn't sustain themselves? I mean, the Israelis are making them watch footage.
They're not on their ship, you idiot.
Which seems to me appropriate given this absurdity and the,
Okay, so the Israelis are making them watch footage of the Hamas October 7th attacks, which seems to be appropriate given this absurdity. Look at this guy. He's reading off of a teleprompter. He doesn't know what the fuck he's saying. The absurdity of feeding starving children? That's absurd.
The danger they put everybody in.
I have a question about dear Greta. I thought she was the climate change kid.
Oh, here we
How
go.
did she change from that to wearing the scarf and just morphing
Laura,
into promoting Hamas?
Climate change just isn't as hot as Gaza Hamas support right now. So look, Trump even reacted to the Greta flap. Watch this.
She's certainly different. Anger management. I think she has to go to an anger management class. That's my primary recommendation for her.
She's not angry enough.
Well, that's...
She's not angry. I like my people angry. I like them to abuse women, but Greta, she doesn't abuse enough women. She needs to go to she needs to go to Pete Hegseth's class. He'll teach her.
Understated, uncharacteristically understated by President Trump.
Holy fuck, dude! They didn't show a single clip of her being angry.
Greta Thunberg, Raymond. I guess Maxine Waters, she's in hot water for taunting National Guardsmen at a federal facility. Watch this.
What are you going to do? You going to shoot some kid? He's afraid of you and run? You going to shoot an elected official? If you shoot me, you better shoot straight. I don't know why you're in my city. You did... The governor was not contacted.
Laura, this was all over an SEIU union leader who was swept up in one of those ICE raids in L.A. Waters was trying to bust into the holding facility, and the National Guard told her to get lost. So then she claimed they were going to shoot people. I mean, this...
Oh, wow. A bunch of violent thugs carrying assault rifles, and you're claiming that they're going to shoot people. You're so delusional. Holy shit, dude. These people are morons. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it here. There's so much more to cover. I need to cover, like... there's so much more to cover. Oh my god. The fucking idiot Ahmed Fuad Al-Khatib did a surrounded episode, which seems insane, and I've been holding off on watching it. I want to watch that. I want to see if Ethan Klein covers any of this shit. Hassan went out to these protests that I actually wanted to watch some of that footage too. So much more to cover. But anyway, I'm going to call it for now. Guys, thanks for watching. God damn. Just like, stay safe. If you go out to protest, wear a mask, cover your identity. See if you can wear like padded clothing so you don't get shot by a rubber bullet, or like so you don't get injured and cut up by rubber bullets. Wear a helmet, wear eye protection goggles. If you have a mask, bring that in case there's tear gas. Bring water. Make sure your friends know where you are. Make sure you can contact people to get out. Cash wouldn't be a bad idea to bring. Oh yeah, it's shutting down streams. Maybe I'll try to stream it. I think the last time I reacted to Jubilee, it just demonetized my stream, but it didn't shut it down. So I'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.